Hello, welcome to Chop Shop Motors. My name is Clay, and I want to talk a little bit about this 72 F100. This is going to be a hot rod deep dive video. This is a truck we've worked on in the past. This is Shelby's truck, and we've done all kinds of stuff to it, but we never did kind of a hot rod deep dive on it after we were all done. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of talk about what we did to it, a little bit of its history, and then we're going to take it for a drive around the block. So let's take a look at it. So to start with, let's just do kind of a quick walk around. This is a 1972 Ford F100. It is kind of a middle of the road trim package. It's a sport custom. So there were some below it that had lesser trim and some above it, like an XLT that was more elaborate and had more chrome. This is a truck we found when Shelby was turning 16 or so, and it was a crashed truck that had been pretty much totaled by the insurance company, and the people had a for sale sign on it, but nobody was showing any interest. It's about, I don't know, maybe 15 or more years ago. And so we bought it and drug it home, and basically what we did to it was most of the body panels got replaced. So the bed stayed, the tailgate got replaced, we put a sport bumper on it, we put trim on it. It had some, but we put some other trim on it. We put a cab top on it because the cab had a sunroof mounted in it. So we made multiple visits to the U-Pull-It. At the time that we did this, U-Pull-It had a ton of these trucks, and they weren't very popular. And so we had, usually every time we went, we had 4 or 5 trucks we could look at to pull parts off of. And so we replaced, on this project, we replaced the cab top, the doors, we replaced both front fenders, we replaced the hood, although this is the hood that came with the truck. We replaced the hood, we replaced the grille surround, we replaced the bumper, we replaced pretty much everything on the front because it had had a front end collision. And on this side we replaced this door as well. And we basically got the truck up and running, and she drove it to school, to high school, and then to college. So we did work everywhere on that kind of iteration 1. Then the truck got in a severe hailstorm, and we ended up having to do it again. And this time the hood got destroyed, and so I kept the original hood, and we had the original hood fixed, and so the original hood went back on it. So we had the roof fixed, we had everything fixed that was hail damaged, and that's when it got the halibrands and things like that. So basically for iteration 1, the first time the truck got done, we really just made it safe so she could drive it and fix what we had to fix. Then over the course of the last 2 years, we've done a whole bunch of other stuff to it. So I'll show you the under the hood. It's a little dirty and dusty right now, but it is what it is. We rebuilt the 302. I rebuilt the 302. Redid the radiator, put a steering box in it, put a booster on it, all the stuff that was starting to cause us some problems. We replaced all that stuff. We went ahead and resealed the transmission, and we put a rear end in it, along with shocks and brakes and wheel bearings, water pump, fuel pump, carburetor, valve covers, air cleaner, all that stuff we replaced. So basically I didn't want to have any problems with it after she started driving it again. So the good thing is the truck has shifted from a primary driver to a weekend driver. She has another vehicle. So now the goal is to make sure that when she hops in it and wants to go do something in it, it works just like it's supposed to. So inside, the inside's pretty basic on one of these trucks. Everything went back to the original scheme on this. We went grabber blue and Wimbledon white. The truck was factory automatic power steering, power brakes, 302. So we didn't have to do any changeover or modification to that. And we had various things redone. Everything was really touched on the truck, either the first time or the second time. So it wasn't like we got a free pass on really anything on the truck. And it isn't perfect now, but it sure is enjoyable and fun to drive, and it looks good going down the road. As we go on back, the bed on it is an earlier bed, so it is not a 72 bed. It does not have the marker light in the back, and I kept it like that. I just modified earlier trim to work on that piece, and it works fine. I actually like it without having the big bulky marker light in the corner, and so far nobody's even noticed. So that's kind of the gist of some of the pieces. We probably have parts off of, I don't know, 18 or 20 trucks on it. The truck's name is Buffy because it's a buffet of parts, and it's part of the family. So I think we should take it for a drive. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take it for a drive. Let's go. All right.
Started right up this morning, even though it was cold.
That's how it should start. All right. A little 302 and an automatic. It's got a C4 in it. Pretty straightforward combination. Not much to go wrong there. It works pretty smooth. It's still up on the fast idle cam, so it's idling just a little bit fast, but it'll slow down here in a minute. So if you've never driven one of these trucks from the 68 to 72 family, they really do drive nice. They don't drive quite the same as a late model F-150 does. They're a little bit different because they are a twin I-beam truck. So you do have to drive them, and if people who own one don't even, after driving it for a little while, you don't even realize it, but you do have to kind of drive it, and I like that part about it. So they drive good, they tow good, there's good road manners. This one has disc brakes on it, so 72 would not have come with disc brakes, but this has got a set of probably 73 to 76 beams and brakes on it. So it's got basically a disc brake changeover on it. So part of the renovation that we went through just recently is we also had it painted. So on one of the earlier videos, I guess you could put a link to the paint video on it. We had Colin at Axis Paints paint it again. The clear coat was starting to come off. The truck hadn't been damaged from, it wasn't like it was in an accident or anything, but the clear coat was just falling off.
It was sunburned.
Yeah, it really does speak to the fact that when you have a vehicle painted, you really want to make sure that you use the best products possible. And on this particular one, I didn't follow up with the painter to find out, could we spend an extra $500 and buy better material, or would that have an impact on it? I didn't really even think about it, because most of the stuff that I've had painted, or a lot of the stuff that I've had painted, has been single stage. I know it isn't quite, doesn't have quite the same glow as a two-stage, but I like the durability, so almost all my stuff's single stage. And I know I'm old, and that's just what dinosaurs do. But this is a base coat clear coat, and this time when we painted it, it's single stage. But when we painted it originally, after we put the truck together, it was base coat clear coat. So the paint fell off prematurely, and that was kind of too bad, because we ended up having to spend the money to repaint it, but look at how good it looks. So
it was also outside a lot.
It was outside all the time.
Yeah.
And it didn't have a dedicated in the garage space, and it doesn't now, but Shelby keeps a car cover on it, and it's it went through an interesting part in its life when she had a late model truck. This one, it had a couple issues, so it wasn't getting driven. And all of you guys out there, guys and gals out there with old cars, you know that once you stop driving them, they really do deteriorate. So that didn't help it either. So we was living outside, it wasn't getting driven a lot, and those things kind of added up to be problematic. But now she drives it probably at least a week, and we do whatever it needs. If something bubbles up, we just fix it right away and make sure that it's ready to go. So that's the drive of Buffy, the 72 Ford pickup.
I see jackets hung out. I see clothes on the ground in the garage.
Oh my goodness.
Tell the story about what's going on right now.
So my wife is doing pre-winter cleaning of the winter clothes. So all the hot rods that are in the front garage got pulled out, and she's doing a purge. So it's probably safer to just keep on driving and not get close to that garage right now.
Also, it's probably like 65 degrees outside, and we're dressed like it's 30 degrees.
It's winter in Arizona.
We're convincing ourselves mentally that it's colder than it is.
Yeah, it was cold yesterday.
It was probably 60.
It was 50, I think it was 54. So, we're back at the shop. I'm Clay for Chop Shop Motors. Thanks for following along as we do a deep dive on Buffy, and we'll see you on the next project.